Hi, here I'm showing you the mega size of fabric roses which I made. If you are interested in to learn how to make it, just keep watching the video please. And here we start. There's what we need is most of the items. I think that you could find them from your craft closet if you have one, or what you must have is the glue guns and the fire. You could use the alcohol lamp or tea light or candle. Anything will do the job. And the Q-tips everybody has, and the cotton pad. It doesn't have to be cotton pad. You could use like tissue, even the paper towels. What I'm going to make here is now the center of the rose. So it should be shape of the football, like small size of the football. So I'm gonna make the middle of the Q-tips fatter, so it will look like a shape of the football. That will be the center of the rose. So gonna roll it and secure them with the glue, and I'm gonna tighten it up with the thread. Any kind of a thread will do. Just keep rolling and rolling, cover them with the thread, and until you feel like it's tight enough. It doesn't have to be hard as rock, but it gotta be it shouldn't be very much soft. It's like how can I explain this? Anyway, not too, doesn't have to be hard, but it cannot be too soft because it's gonna be whole flower. So it's done now here, and I'm gonna show you how to make the petals. There's two kind of a petal. Or you can use it with the one size of the templates. Just cut out any kind of a paper like the shape of the flower petals, like I show you. But if you like cut out it, satin fabrics like that. If you think my flowers are too big, you could use the smaller size of the petals, like make them smaller size of the petals, or if you want them even more bigger, then you could make the bigger petals. Of course in order the center of the roses should depends on what size petals you are using. You'll know. I mean, like what I'm using here, like about like 2.5 inches of the center of the rose. The petal is most of them less than, I think so, about like 2.75 inches of height of the petals. And now I'm showing you how to make petals, and you fold them, make the crease at the bottom of the petals, and the edge better make the smooth round curve at the end. Looks like that. And the other petals should looks like wavy at the end, like that. I'm gonna show you how to make the wavy end. You put the fire on it and make them melt a little bit. Hot edges, you just twist them using your finger. See, you see one curve, and then I think that doesn't have to be too many times, like 3 times will do, 3-4 times will do, because you want to make the nice clean wave like that. I did it like 3 times, 4 times, I guess. And you finish it, then you're gonna fold at the bottom of the flower of each size like that. As you see, the real flower, none of the flower petals look same, so it doesn't have to look same. It just maybe different shape of the flowers make it more looks natural. And what's really really important is that you're using the synthetic fabrics, which is like polyester and nylons, and you cannot use the natural fabrics because it's going to burn, it's going to turn into ashes. Natural fabric, for example, like cottons and silk, which is really expensive, and linens, something like that. And synthetic is like polyester and nylon. If you don't know with the looks, you just try them. If you put them on the fire, the synthetic fabric melt, not burn. The natural fabric's going to burn and turn into black ashes. So synthetics gotta do, must be synthetic, which is a cheaper, really good. And you could also use the ribbons, but making this size of the roses, that at least you'd have to use more than 2 inches of width. I think that it's going to be really expensive. The synthetic satins, if you buy them by yard, I think they're about like $8, $7 around. I think that it's better use not the lightweight. You better use the medium weight, at least the medium weight of the polyester satins. I think it's going to be around like $9. I'm not sure, but if you buy 1 yard, I think that you could make more than 10 roses. So, which is cheaper and looks more. There's a variety of more colors, so I recommend it. But if you have extra ribbons, go for it. I think that it's the pros for using ribbons are, it's easy to handle. It's like more easy to handle to make the flower petals. So many craft the creators here who makes fabric flowers, they use the ribbons. I think it's easy to make it and easy to explain about it. But I'm using the fabrics that's around me. Since I'm a doll maker, I have many leftover extra fabrics, so I'm using those things. And you pick up the wavy edges petals and starting cover the center of cotton ball things, roses. You actually put the markers at the end of it, because if you see upside down, it might show the white part. So I use the black marker and color them. It depends on what color of the flower you're gonna make. If you're gonna go like yellow or pink, then you have to go the same color, the permanent markers that you're gonna put the color on. This one, I'm gonna cover the wavy petals using glue guns, but here's the tips that you don't glue all the way, just a little. Is as possible. If you don't, what I'm giving you the advice is never ever go overboard with the glue gun. It's nothing good come from it. Use as little as you can, and of course secure the bottom of the flowers for sure. But when it's go up in the middle, don't glue them at the end, because if you see the natural flower, the the roses is never closed completely. So leave the edges of the flowers, side of the flowers. Just cover them, and it's gonna show more, looks natural and beautiful. As you see, the top of the flowers is never cannot be too higher than center of the rose. And you put four-sided first as a begin, like that. Always overlapping at the one side. So I don't know, never counted. Actually, I try, I just couldn't do it because it's like too many petals. I don't know how many petals you exactly going to need. But what I recommend you is always don't use too many petals. So I thought that at the beginning, when I started to make these things, I was okay. How you cannot have too many petals? It's more is better, right? So I put many petals in one rose. It's going to look just like giant ball and doesn't look like a roses at all. It's too much is never good. So you have to stop exactly like never ever go overboard. And when it's go to craft and the making things is too much is never ever be good. So you have to know when it's time for stop. Okay, now I cover them first layer after the covering the center of the rose in the second layer, I guess. Now I think that it's time for, after this, using the round tips of the petals. After this. I started to make the fabric flowers because my mom asked me to buy one fabric flowers. Um, since now she start to wear many hats, she having lots of gray hairs, and she cannot dye her hair because she has allergic reactions about with the chemicals. She cannot have a perm or dye her hair, so she started to wear many hats. She wants to decorate her head with the flowers, and I tried to actually at the begin at the first time I tried to buy the fabric flowers, but not many of stores have it. Maybe the if you go to Edges, maybe you can find what you want, but yes, they can be pricey because all their handmade works. You cannot most like so. Okay, I cannot buy my mom like designer clothing or like expensive luxury items, but here I can make her beautiful flowers to, you know, many as she wanted. So I try to dig up how to make the flowers, like looking up many pictures and Pinterest pictures and videos from YouTube's. Thanks for many talented Russian artists. Uh, they are really great at the making things. There are many great artists in, I guess, the Russias, and they are. I learned them from there. What I recommend you, even though when you watch the video, I think that as many time as you possible, you get to, you have to have a look with the real flower pictures. Um, See how the petal looks, how the real flower looks like. It's great. I think the great lessons for you if you want to try to make flowers. And of course, there's no natural flowers looks like navy colors, but I go with the more like neutral colors because it's the since it's like kind of a fashion item, accessories. I hope it goes with every color, other clothing. So I'm gonna go with the more like dark bases or black or cream or um, navies, burgundy, like dark wine color, something like that. It can go with any color of your clothing. So I rather go those colors. Now my flowers done. It is time to make finishing cut off the Q-tips and cover the bottom with the same fabric. I cut them in circle and put it at the bottom. Now the flower's done. The making flower is not hard, but I think that it's a lot of time consuming and hard labor once you get used to it. But even though you get used to it, you have to make many petals. So it is great gift for somebody. I think that everybody going to love it. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to buy the supplies for it. But as I told you, it's a time consuming craft. So I did fast forward these videos, but I think that it's like taking about like at least 3 hours, 4 hours for one flowers. And if you are not used to it, I think more than 5 hours. Now I'm making leaves. Also the leaves should be the synthetic fabrics. I think it's polyester crepe fabrics. I rather go the color like dark green. You usually call it like Kelly Hunter greens. And chip it out with the scissors because that's how the rose leaves looks like. And make sure there's no fray end. Burn them, melt them like that, and fold them in half and burn the edges. Use the tweezer. I mean, like that tweezer is really important. I didn't even realize that I have one at home, but now I cannot live without, like my husband. Anyway, the tweezer I use, if you don't want to burn your finger, your precious finger, use them all the time. Having them around all the time is really useful. And like fold them and melt the line like real leaves do. You don't have, I think that you don't have to put the leaves, because I put it because I have right color fabrics around me. But if you don't have one, I don't think you should have one, because just flower is flower as itself is beautiful enough, and everyone knows it's not real flowers, since when you're using the color like me, it's navy. There's no navy real roses, and it's too big for real. And but I made it. As you see, if you see the result, if you think it's better with the leaves, then go for it. But if you don't think it's necessary, then just pass it on. Okay, the leaves done. I made 2 big leaves and 1 small leaves. It's time to put them on a headband. This headband is really important. I think that always I couldn't find the right sizes. Like most of the headband, I think it's too like digging into my head, gives me a lot of headache. So I use the light one, metal inside. Make sure it's covered with the satin fabrics, and I think it looks perfect and very comfortable. And I placed the flower. It's like, maybe you think it's too low, but always think that when you wear headband, is maybe if it's the flower is too much up, then your head, it doesn't look nice. I think it's my opinion. It's like I always put the flowers around the ear sizes when you put it on the headband, and around the ear height. So around the ear height, I think that's right size for right positions where you place your flowers for me. You'll see. I think it's more looks natural, and I think it's great hair accessories for like everyday use, also good, or party or dates. When you have one, I think it's great to have gift to your friend gift, and have one for yourself. I think it's great accessories. Now it's done. Flowers beautiful. Secure the leaves because it's too droopy, so make sure put little glues around the petals, and when you wear them, among your hair, it's going to look more natural. So beautiful mega sized satin fabric rose, here it comes, and all done. Rearrange the flower petals. It is a great thing that you could reshape it any way you want. You get more, looks more blooming, or more, you can make them more looks closed. Either way, they're gonna look beautiful. Thank you for watching my video.